There is a rating schedule that goes above and beyond 100%. And this is where the real money and the actual disabled veterans are rated on. It's past 100% PNT. Do not think that 100% PNT means you are disabled. It simply means you receive VA compensation at the 100% rate. Special monthly compensation, on the other hand, is reserved for the most disabled, and I'm going to exclude SMCK, which is very, very common for like erectile dysfunction, female sexual arousal disorder. Sometimes if you have a kidney removed, all of those can fall into SMCK, among many others. Now I'm going to briefly talk about SMCs for amputees, and generally speaking, this one's very easy, meaning if you're missing a hand, the VA is going to see you're missing a hand. It's pretty much black and white at that point. When SMCs get difficult, in my opinion at least, is when it comes for the loss of use, and we're going to look at how the VA actually determines what the loss of use means. Many musculoskeletal conditions, for instance, plantar fasciitis, has a loss of use scale. That's what we're going to look at. It's rated at 40%. And then, of course, the very popular housebound or aid in attendance. Same. Now, we're going to jump straight to the VA's website, and this is another reason why the VA sucks, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean, and here we go. This is, am I eligible for VA aid in attendance or housebound benefits as a veteran or survivor? So instead of calling this SMCS, for whatever reason, the VA's website is detailing this. And you can see that we're going to go through the eligibility requirements, but it does not even state the 100% criteria or IU and an additional rating at 60%. That is also going to be SMCS. Why is it not co-located? Why are they separated? I have no idea what the VA's game plan when it comes to disseminating information, but I can tell you it's absolute dog water. But here we go. We'll talk about the eligibility requirements, and then I'll throw in the 100% one as well. So at least one of these must be true, okay? You need another person to help you perform daily activities like bathing, feeding, and dressing. Or you have to stay in bed or spend a large portion of the day in bed because of illness. Or you are a patient in a nursing home due to the loss of mental or physical abilities related to a disability, meaning service connection. Your eyesight is limited. Basically, you're blind. Okay. Housebound benefit eligibility. You may be eligible for this benefit if you get VA pension and you spend most of your time in your home because of a permanent disability, meaning that disability is not going to go away, or static. There's also the 100% route where you have one rating, for instance, PTSD at 100% or sleep apnea at 100%, and then you have GERD at 80 or whatever else at 60%. That would also grant you this benefit. Yes, you can go on, VA has their own pay charts for the SMC scales. You can go ahead and look at that. Now, it gets confusing when we start looking at the M21 TAC one, and that's what this is for right here. So here we go. You can read that, but you can see it's for special monthly compensation. We're going to focus on the loss of use because this is really going to be like a 2-hour video if we don't. So the loss of use. So anytime you see LOU, that is loss of use. So information to request from an examiner during loss of use. So I'm going to show you this. Then I'm going to show you the plantar fasciitis on 38 CFR, because just about every single musculoskeletal condition has a loss of use scale, like your shoulder, your wrist, whatever that looks like. When requesting an exam to determine loss of use of an extremity, ask the examiner to furnish a detailed objective description of remaining function. So what can that limb still do? A quantitative assessment of strength for each extremity involved, and a description of pain that affects the use. The VA cannot request that the examiner actual determines the loss of use. So they have to stay within this context here to simply answer the questions, not to make a statement on whether loss of use is there or not. The VA will do that. And the examiner cannot express an opinion as to whether there is or is not loss of use. Boom. Then it says, note, if loss of use cannot be determined upon review of the examination report. So if the raters, I'm going to say the VA in general, whatever information comes out of here, they're unable to do that, then they can request an appropriate specialized examination. Let's go ahead and hop over to Gunny Google. I'm going to show you how to do this as well. This is one of my favorite tricks to do, is you can Google your disability, plantar fasciitis 38 CFR ECFR. So did I spell that wrong? Of course I did, whatever. Let me go back. Oh no. Okay, whatever. I'm going to spell it wrong. I'm typing very, very fast. Whatever disability you have, you can replace it here, and the link will be the same. Okay, so this is going to be the musculoskeletal schedule of ratings. Now you can't see it on the screen here, but all I did was hit Control F. Okay, I'm hitting Control F, and I'm going to put in plantar, and that will bring up. So boom, ankylosis. That's the loss of use. Implantar flexion at more than 40 degrees, or in dorsiflexion at more than 10 degrees, or with abduction, adduction, inversion of deformity. If you scroll down to actual plantar fasciitis, you'll see the note with actual loss of use of the foot, rate 40% under plantar fasciitis. And so, yes, many conditions. This is just one. I'm not going to show you all of them. Many conditions have a loss of use scale. Your shoulder has one, depending on that range of motion, where the VA determines, hey, if you can't reach up into the cabinets and grab a box of cereal, that might be the loss of use. That's going to affect your life drastically. Think about driving a car. It would be unsafe to drive at the, 5 and the 7 versus a 10 and 2. That's what we're talking about here. I'm going to leave the link below to the M21 TAC one that we just looked at. Don't go that far. So you can look at those, how the VA determines loss of use. Another thing I really want to show you is VA rating scale for SMCs. I shouldn't say SMCS, just SMCs. CCK, we don't want that. There we go. This is a good way to see the requirements for SMCs as well. You can see the rates there for SMC. Those are low ones. Here we go. Look at these rates here. Okay. This is when it gets a little bit serious. You can look at those rates. There's a portion down here. Where's it at? Boom. It talks about each of the serious SMCs. So for instance, SMCL, you've had both feet amputated. Pretty easy to see, right? If you don't have feet, the VA is not going to mess this part up. You've had one foot amputated and had the loss of use of another foot. One hand, same with the hands. You've had one hand amputated and had the loss of use of one foot. And then here we go. And you can read that criteria for each of these, okay? Each of these have this. I'll leave this below in the pinned comments as well. SMCs are their own beast. It's way above the normal pay scale that all the other veterans get. And SMCs, especially for amputees, that is the most disabled. So if those apply to you, genuinely, thank you for your service. I'm very serious about that. And healthcare is absolutely crucial for those veterans, for every veteran, but specifically those veterans. And thank you very much for your service.